Okay, that time it should have worked. I don't know why it frickin' didn't. There, that time it worked. May as well practice these two warps. There, got it that time. I want to be doing faster setup for these warps, but I've tried faster setups and they just don't work with faster setups. That's the glitch tech for this game, is if you die going backwards through an entry door, you spawn at the exit door for the room. It's done several times in the any percent run. Warpless disallows it since it is a death warp. It's actually possible in several more rooms than we would use it in the any percent run. Like, it's possible in several rooms in blue section. It's just not a time save to do it in those rooms, since you have to wait out the full death animation. Yeah, I never would have found such a piece of tech myself. Modicius was the one who... I don't think he found it, just somebody told him about it. He was the one who brought it to everybody's attention. And he is the one with whom I am currently tied for the any percent recce, which really only means one thing. He hasn't done any runs in a while, because the first time he does runs again, he's gonna PB. It's really me, Modicius, and in italics who are active or semi-active. There's a few other runners who have submitted runs that are, not quite as good. Like, there's one runner who did all of the death warps in blue section. And as I said, most of them don't save time and are actually slower to do, so... someone who doesn't quite get the, proper route, I guess you would call it, although it's a very linear game.
When you enter a cave expecting a waterfall, the chances are your expectations will be met. But if you discard those expectations, don't you think instead the cave will be full of surprises? I ask for you, Hugh, to abandon your expectations, to pull me back from the brink of unreality. I need you to see the world not for what it is, but for what it can be.
I was late. I missed the first hop, but I get the second one. That is Bizarro World time. Because the first hop's the easy one, the second hop is the hard one. Like, you can death warp in this room, but it's slower than simply doing the room. You can death warp in this room, but it's slower than simply doing the room. You can death warp in this room, but it's slower than simply doing the room. This one it is faster, so we do it. Yeah, I've been a little bit disappointed at how many death warps are suboptimal. I've sort of theory crafted an all death warps meme category. I may or may not do actual runs of that. off to a good start.
Did you know, Hugh, that purple is at the very end of the visible spectrum? It's the hardest colour for our eyes to distinguish. Now, imagine a shade one step further than purple, a colour beyond what we can actually perceive. We call these impossible colours. And I fear that this is where I currently reside. If reality is rooted in our perception, and you cannot perceive me, do I even exist to you? I'm sure that I do. I mean, you're reading this letter, or at least I hope you are. I'm sorry, but existing in this strange state of impermanence does funny things to you, Hugh. It makes you question what is real.
That's... what? That was a little strange. Yeah, there are some strats that are, fairly difficult. That's obviously if missed would result in rooms being failed entirely. Mostly when we get to the rooms with the lasers in them, that's where they are. That's not for a little bit yet. One of the cool things about the death warps,
Dr.
you
Gray
never
soon
have to
became my
guess if
assigned
you got them.
mentor.
Oftentimes you can tell just
I
by
can't
looking,
help but
but
feel
if you're
he
not
somehow
sure,
had a hand in
you
it.
can try to pause the game,
Our fires
and if
burned
you can
brightest when
pause
we
the
worked
game, that
together.
means you didn't get the warp. If you
Felt like we
can't
could choose
pause the
anything.
game, that means you did.
We discovered more about colour than I could ever have imagined. We split light, mapped spectrums, we painted. We laughed. We worked long hours, and soon our goal became all-consuming. We were vessels. The work became more important than us, and we knew it.
Woohoo! Almost fell off there. That's slow, that's slow, that's slow. Damn it! Ah, it's so slow. Okay, got it that time. Not speedrunning SM64 because that's not the sort of game I want to speedrun. And that's also a very oddly specific question. Damn it. Second try, damn it. That's the sort of a game that people who run it all but literally devote their lives to it. And I'm not interested in doing that about any one game. Also, I don't have an N64, so... Well, it's not the... Oh, on my list. I thought you said top of the list. Yeah, I don't speedrun any of the games on that list. This is what the Miss Death Warp costs us. Fuck. Well, like I say, I've got to enjoy the game. It's got to have some semblance of unintended strats. It's got to be something I feel like I can actually learn. And something I feel I would enjoy running as well. I
It's funny.
do not think I would
I don't
enjoy
remember much
running.
after
See,
that
I
day on the
mean,
grass.
I suppose I could,
I do know that
if I
Dr.
wanted to
Gray
run
and I spent many a
SM64, which
time
I
together.
don't, I could run it on Virtual
I would
Console.
compliment him on
I
his
don't think
work
that would
and
be fun.
his cheeks
So,
would
yeah.
flush with a pinkness. He'd notice and change the subject.
And I'm
embarrassed.
generally
This
disinclined,
work we'd
although I
done
do plan to run Okami, I'm generally disinclined towards boards that have, 400 or 500 people on them like SM64 does. I prefer smaller communities. And sometimes it isn't so easily explained. Sometimes I just don't wanna. About a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere around there. Or no, I think it's more like 2.5 at this point. Yeah, I think my first Infamous run was like November of 2015, so yeah, it's a little over 2. Okay, definitely need this first try. Don't even get to reset. That is incredibly aggravating. Alright, well, thanks for stopping by. See ya later. I'm pretty sure I missed that warp once in my PB too. So I don't think that one's gonna be a time loss. Though that one is especially aggravating because usually the little bug where the door confirmation box doesn't select anything, usually that happens because you're going too fast. That time, like a full second passed before the confirmation box went gray. So it's like, what the hell? Whee! This will save a tiny bit of time. Dropping frames like it's going out of style.
Once a seed has taken root, it doesn't take long for it to grow, to nurture and blossom into something beautiful. The seed of knowledge was planted in my mind, and I wasn't prepared to let it wilt and die. The university claimed my experiments were unethical, that altering the fabric of our reality was dangerous. They were unflinching. My research was confiscated and my contract terminated. Following my expulsion, I was left with no choice but to uproot and move us both far away. I knew of a small fishing village a boat ride from the university, where I hoped my reputation wouldn't precede me. You and I moved into a humble home, which is now where you've spent most of your childhood.
Would certainly love me a one cycle here. Don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, not even particularly close. Almost messed that up. But almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And presidential elections, Kappa. That is really close to gold. That was a good segment.
Do you recall those dusty old tomes that used to sit on my desk? The ancient scriptures of civilizations lost. I spent hours poring over them, searching for clues to support my research. Aside from their wonders, one thing stood out above all else. Blue, or specifically the absence of it. Other colours were detailed at length, but not blue. It was never mentioned at all. The word simply didn't exist. Could they not distinguish blue?
Thank you, game.
Without the word to describe it, how can we be sure they could see it at all?
It's hard to accept that I pushed the block too far. Whatever, at least this way I now get to push the block this time rather than pulling it, which is slightly faster because of that. Nice. Hello. Ah, that jump was almost short. I think there's a large time save in the next segment. Also, this might be gold. Yeah, it is gold. Ah, if I could menu. And yeah, it is a large time save in this segment.
My My research led me to tales of a long-lost civilization. They built great machines, pioneering electricity many years before we discovered it. Strangely, though, this civilization is said to have felt no pain.
So if
They
not
knew
for
of
that
pain
one missed death
and
orb, we'd be
observed it,
2 or 3 seconds
yet
green
could
here,
not experience
which
it
is
themselves.
crazy.
Explaining to them the sensation of pain is like me explaining colour to someone that can only see in black and white. I wonder, Hugh, if we will be able to share in our experiences of colour.
Lots of optimized strats in this segment. Okay, that was almost too short a jump at the end over the spike pit. Damn it! That should have been right. Fuck. Because I missed this in my PB, so this is part of the time save for this segment that I'm not gonna get. Because I can't do this strat anymore, apparently. Fuck. No chance. I just did not have the right positioning on this platform. Wow, I got that one with controller only, first try. I usually have to use the keyboard with that one. Are we gonna be green here? It's not gonna save as much time as I would have liked, but yeah, we should be green here. We've actually still not yet started to lose time, which is weird. No way is that gold. Wow, okay, that was gold. That makes absolutely no sense. That was like gold by 3 seconds. There were strats I didn't even try. How the hell was that cold? Is there some new time save in that segment I'm not aware of? That I'm doing?
If a tree stands in the woods and nobody's there to see it, does that tree exist? Does it have colour and form? Does it matter? This journey has been difficult, Hugh, and whilst I have trodden a lost, winding path, I feel no closer to the truth I was after, no matter how long you chase the moon. If truth does exist in our minds, then I feel there may be one that I have neglected. All this time, you've been alone, and now uprooted, on a journey for my cause. For what? So that I could see the world a little clearer? I do hope, in the end, it was worth it. For both of us.
Hey, Loopy Luna. You're pretty much the only one here right now, but hi, welcome. We are on a pretty good run here. Missed one death warp early on. That's really been the only mistake. This is doing that is a lot harder than it looks. It was on sale, really? That's awesome. Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, I should probably tweet out about that if it's on sale in my region, or even if it's not. Oh, for fuck's sake. That was very slow. Hey, Ritosha. Thank you for the luck. Gonna try the run? That's great. I think it's a pretty good run to... You know, I don't know if you are just starting out with speedruns, but if you are, I think it's a pretty good one for that. It's not a whole lot of crazy, like, glitch tech in it. There's a couple of you know, sneaky tech kind of things in it. But it's not really the heart and soul of the run. The heart and soul of the run is just going fast. That's what we love to do. Oh boy. Nice. That's not where I split for university entrance. But it's close enough. I split when I enter the actual building, not when I leave Mountainside. Makasadia, you mean? Now known as SS Bane. Second Son's really well optimized. Again, not a whole lot of tech in it. There is a little bit. It's mainly just about the heart and soul of that run is just about optimizing all the downtimes, collecting all of the blast shards you can during phone calls and stuff, and getting the relevant upgrades. I want to run Second Son a little bit. I want to get a sub 4 hour, but much beyond that, I don't know how much I'll want to grind it. With as much First Light as I've run, I'm going to be a little bummed running that game because Delsin's Neon is nowhere near as fun to use as Fetch's. And he does have Smoke and Video, of course, and Concrete in the endgame, but I love Neon. Yeah, it is. In my splits, I even call it Welcome to Seattle, in brackets, such cutscenes, because there's about 40 minutes at the beginning of the game. That's about 2 minutes of it, well, maybe 5 minutes of it, is gameplay. The rest is all cutscenes, which is a little on the brutal side. Go. I am gonna try the double. Heaven help me. Okay, that feel when you can't even get past the first one in the double. I'm not going to try the double a second time. Whatever. No. Well, you need a certain karma level to use endless lightspeed dash for Delsin, which, what? Okay, I guess we're doing the intended solution. I don't quite know how that happened. But whatever, we're still green. Yeah, it is. I mean, the way it's routed, anyway. I just mean in a casual playthrough sense. It takes a while to get to it. Plus, Delson's Neon, you can't get air dash in that game for Neon, which is so stupid. You can only get it for Smoke and Video. So even traversal with Neon, let alone combat, even traversal with Neon in that game kinda sucks. At least compared to First Light. Alright, I'm not gonna do the Death Warp in this room. Because we're green, and I haven't practiced it. So, the heck with it. I mean, I've practiced it, but not enough. And this is a bad cycle for this. Gold somehow? I've run all 5 games at least once. I'm never going to run 2 again. It's a terrible speedrun. I do want to learn FOB again, and I want to submit it for SGDQ. So that will be happening somewhat soonish. You're kidding me. What happened? What happened? I didn't change them back. I did miss a step. Damn it. So if the first one didn't kill me, the second one would have, although the first one was gonna. I did skip a step. Oh. Gosh, that doesn't make me happy, because that is my own stupidity at fault. Festival of Blood was previously run at AGDQ 2015. 2 is a wonderful game. It's a marvelous game. It's probably my favorite PS3 exclusive game. There's just no speed tech in it at all. Well, that's not true that there's none at all, but there's as good as none at all. Unlike Infamous 1, which has optimized strats in nearly every one of the 38 missions. It's just a boring run. All it is a fast Let's Play. And yeah, there's movement optimizations, but that alone can't support a run of that length for me. It can for Sir Sanju, which is why he loves it. He actually likes that run. Why am I doing this? He actually likes that run better than Infamous 1, which is crazy if you ask me. Why did I go the long way around? Shit, man. I'm gonna lose some serious time on this final segment. Hopefully not enough to cost me Reki. Rotosha FOB is Infamous Festival of Blood. It's a non-canon spin-off game for PS3. It uses Infamous 2's engine and part of its map, similar to how First Light uses Second Son's engine and part of its map. Cole is bitten by a vampire and has one night to break the curse on him. It's just a short little, really fun game. It's a great game. I highly recommend it. Until Journey came along, it was I'm waiting on that one, the most downloaded game on PlayStation Network in its history. Okay. I think as long as I don't fuck this room up completely, we've got Reki. Okay. Okay, I think that's Reki.
Dearest,
What?
it
No.
has been too long. You have grown so much.
That's something up
Your
with the
mother.
auto splitter. I will need
I
to
tried
check
to
that
warn
after
her.
the run, but obviously that is not the correct
I thought
split.
that exiling her from the university would protect her, would protect you. She did not understand that some people
Thankfully, the
choose
timer
not to
keeps
see.
going in such a case.
I never stole the ring from her, Hugh. I tried to destroy it. Before it destroyed her.
Also, that 10-second possible time save is incorrect.
Now
I also need to fix
she is
that in the
under
timer.
control.
It should have been running against a gold split.
My intervention shattered.
I mean, the verifying mod can
altering your mother's
do
very
whatever they
fabric.
choose, of course. I don't self-verify
My
if
only
I'm
reprieve is
not the
being
only
able to
active
follow
mod.
in her footsteps, to
And Modesius
experience
and in
her
italics
work
are
firsthand.
very much both active.
We do not see things as they are here. Instead, we see them.
I've never
as we
taken a
are.
split there. In italics does for some silly
Your
reason.
mother,
And I checked
is
that
waiting
off
for
as
you.
one of the splits not to take on the auto
I
splitter.
expect she will be
So
thrilled
I don't
to
know
see
why
how
it
far
did.
you've come.
I'll split manually at the end if I have to. Yeah, this is gonna be like a 4840 something, 4850 something. Really bad final segment. But that happens sometimes. At least I didn't F up the final puzzle room. That cost me a Reki once and has cost me a PB more than once. There we go. So, yeah, that's Reki.